I'm here to tell you a story that I think is pretty amazing. It's about how Yokuba Sowadoga in the village of Gorga in Burkina Faso, Africa, which is on the southern edge of the Sahara Desert, right here, this little orange country. Yokuba turned a barren desert into a forest teeming with wildlife and vegetation by learning to harness the power of water. He has helped to fight famine. And this is a picture of Yokuba working the land. It's as hard as concrete, but he begins in the middle of a famine to take his hoe and to break up this hard ground. And everyone said Yokuba was crazy, that he was the village idiot because he was breaking with tradition. No one got out there and farmed when it was in the dry season. You only farmed during the rainy season. Well, Yokuba just ignored the talk, and he went ahead and did what he thought was right. And I believe that he is a natural-born farmer. Here is how his portion of the desert looks now. It looks much more like a forest than a barren desert. No one had ever began to dig these types of pits in the middle of the drought. But that's what Yokuba did. He broke up the ground. He dug these little pits, as you see here. He filled them with dung and other vegetation. And soon he was aided by one of nature's little friends, the termite. The termites began to build their nests in his soft ground. And they also began to dig tunnels deep down into the ground. And the nests that they built, when the rain did come, it soaked into their nest, it ran down into the tunnels, and it was able to he was able to gather a lot more water into the area than had ever been done before. He was also ready when the rains came with low walls built all around his gardens in order to keep the water from running off quickly. So he not only did everything that he could do, he enhanced nature by holding the water longer. One of the first things that he began to plant was trees. And here's the first tree that Yokuba planted 38 years ago. And Yokuba says that trees are very life-giving well, he says it's impossible to fully appreciate the tree's importance. It transforms life into the world. Along with his trees came birds and other wildlife. The birds brought with them seeds, and more vegetation began to grow. And he had a forest that created a microclimate in the desert. It blocked the winds, it provided shade, it raised the water table by holding life-giving water in the soil, and his crops began to flourish. Well, guess what? He was no longer thought of as the village idiot. After a while, the people saw what he was doing, and they came to help him. And this is a group of of people on their way to help him with the harvest of millet. He grew enough food to feed everyone. You can see them in the fields gathering the millet, and everyone helping. In a recent famine in Niger, Yokuba's methods helped feed thousands. Niger is this country right here, right next to Burkina Faso. Well, the ability to harness water has been a key to the survival of our species. We have been able to use gravity to help us bring water to cities and feed and nourish thousands. We use it to power our world, but we do need to be careful and not take too much water from the earth. We only need to take what we need so that we can prevent disasters from happening, like what happened in the Sahara Desert. And I just wanted to share with you what one person can do to help change the world in a short 40 years of life. Thank you for your time.